Does everybody in the room know that this campus is totally tobacco and vape free? Everybody? You can't anywhere, parking lots, nowhere. Everybody good? Everybody. Okay, I appreciate you honoring that. Took a long time to get that done. Honor that. In the back corner,
I'm his twin.
I was going to say, don't I know you?
Yeah.
What are you doing in this class?
I changed majors to the Hilton.
Finally, you caught on.
Yeah.
Remind me your name.
David.
And your brother's name is?
Daniel.
You know, here's the thing, Spencer. You need to go check his ID, man, because they're totally twins. And it wouldn't surprise me in the least if they've been doing this for the last 3 years. David is very cool. David, not that the rest of you aren't, but David has been a student government representative and gets a lot of things done. And so if you want to talk to him about parking, David's the guy. Don't talk to me. Talk to David. David, are you still involved?
Not this year.
Ah.
Yeah, but I can help you with resources.
Yeah. Listen, he's a cool guy to know. He really is. So I'd encourage you to take advantage of his experience, age. Sorry, dude. And, but anyway, nice to have you in the class. Yeah. Thought you looked familiar. I thought maybe it was y'all's younger brother or something. Anyway, fun to have you. Did Daniel graduate?
Yeah, he graduated this summer.
He passed my class?
Yeah.
I'll be damned. Good for him. All right, good. No, he's a good kid. He's a good student. And what's he doing?
He used to be hotel manager somewhere. He hasn't got a job yet.
Oh, he has. He's working on something. Okay, good. Well, tell him I said hi. All right, good. So we talked about smoke. We talked about drugs. We talked about caffeine. That's enough. All right, let's talk about what other we got to talk about. Is there anybody here that doesn't have top hat? Okay. At the end of class, will you see Spencer so we can get your name to be sure you get credit for being here? All right? Yeah, anybody else see Spencer? Everybody able to get a book? Those of you that were inclined to get a book, did everybody get a book? Okay, good. All right, thank you. Anybody first time in the class? Holy smokes. All right. For those of you first time in the class, do you have access to Blackboard? Okay, so on Blackboard, you'll find the syllabus, you'll find the schedule, and on the syllabus, you'll find the book, text description, but you'll also find 2 very important podcasts. So we record all of the classes in here, and so you can go back and listen to the first 2 days of class, and that way you will not be behind, and you'll know what to do. Have you already done it? No. You already done it? You did. Oh, well, there you go. You haven't done it, but you will. All right. I encourage you to do it because it will really help you avoid the chaos and the confusion of coming in to the class late. Everybody good there? All right, very cool. So wait, Melvin, how's our football team been?
Pretty good.
We're going to be good this year? Yeah? So, when's our first game?
Saturday.
Whoa! Who knew that? Who's going? It's at Rice. Dude, it's at Rice. That's across the street. It's not like we're going to Nebraska or something. I mean, it's even inside the loop. So, are you going? Who's going? Don't we get tickets? Come on, you guys got to go. Who's going to the game? You got to go. I can't go because I'll be traveling, but I would go. So, are you going to get to play? You already know you're not going to be there. You're traveling.
I'll be at the game.
You'll be at the game, suited up, but you don't think you. Special teams, hang in there, bud. You're a freshman, right? You're on your way. I need to go talk to the coach. Melvin's like, please don't go talk to the coach. Okay, I get it. All right, Melvin, we're right behind you, though. Linebacker. What's your number?
46.
That's who you're looking for. Right there, number 46. All right, we're going to create a cheering sensation for number 46. Before the season's over, the coach is going to go, Melvin, get in there. All right, and for those of you new, in this class, for the hour and 20 or so, we don't use our mobile devices or our laptops or our tablets. So if everybody can put those away, we'll be good to go. Even you standing in the very back. Thank you very much. All right. All right, so let's recap where we were with chapter 1. Then we're going to roll right into chapter 2. Everybody get your post done? How's that working for you? Smooth, 150 words. Now, I'm going to step up your game a little bit. Listen to me. I'm going to step up your game a little bit. I want you, going forward with your posts, to practice your grammar and spelling. I've looked at a few of those posts. We need a little help. But listen to me carefully. There are great resources here on campus to help you with your English grammar and spelling. Yeah? There's also great online resources. How many of you have discovered Grammar Girl? Grammar Girl. Okay. How many of you have learned? Well, Grammar Girl is a great online resource. You should check your work. If you have a question about anything, you should check it. Now, how many of you rely on spell check? Raise your hand if you do. It's okay. All right. Let's just make sure we have a conversation. Why can we not just rely upon spell check with our papers? Yes, if you want to realize the shortcomings of artificial intelligence, just ask yourself, have you ever had anything auto-corrected that you went, oh man, I didn't say that? Okay, AI has not, it's not there yet. It does not understand context. It does not know what you're trying to say. So when you spell check a document, for instance, if you meant to say manager and you said manger, M-A-N-G-E-R, like a little kid in the stable, manger, yeah, right? Then you got to know spell check's going to tell you you spelled that right. It's not going to tell you that it's wrong, right? If you meant to say, there goes the dog, T-H-E-R-E, and you spelled T-H-E-I-R, the possessive pronoun there, it's going to tell you that that word is spelled okay. It does not understand usage, context, intent. That hasn't happened yet. So you cannot rely upon that. Now, it's okay to use it. But then when you get your paper back with 5 misspelled words, which by the way count 3 points apiece on your paper that you're going to do in here, you're going to understand why you need to proofread your paper. What's the best way to proofread your paper for punctuation and spelling? Yes, sir?
Print it out.
Print it out and read it out loud. Read it out loud. And if you can read it out loud to somebody else, that will help you. Why reading it out loud? What does that help you do? It helps you with the punctuation. You'll know when there's supposed to be a pause, when there's not supposed to be a pause. It will help you discern incomplete sentences. It will help you to recognize clauses, independent clauses that need a semicolon versus a dependent clause that needs a comma. And if you don't have any idea what I'm talking about, spend some time on Grammar Girl. Right? Stop looking at every statistic on ESPN or listening or spending all your days on Instagram. And did I miss something that you guys do to distract yourself? Snapchat, thank you. And spend some time on Grammar Girl. Be curious about learning. This will help you. Look, is it important that you learn how to communicate? Yes. When you get a document that has several misspelled words or the punctuation is poor, do you have a lot of faith in that document? Do you have a lot of faith in the information? No, it loses its credibility. Do not let that be you. On the same concept, verbal diction, verbal articulation is just as important. Yeah? All right. I'm big into communication these days. The college asked me to teach a communication course next semester. So you're going to hear a lot about it this semester. We're going to try a few things out. All right? Is communication important? Yes. It's crucial. How many of you into social? And don't tell me Snapchat, Facebook. How many of you have a Twitter account? How many of you wish you didn't? Because you said something you didn't mean to say. All right? How many of you use LinkedIn? Okay. How many of you do use email quite a bit? All right. Do you check your spelling and grammar on your email?
Yes.
Okay, good. Very good. All right. How many of you can create PowerPoint outlines? Prezis. If I say to you track changes on Word, can you tell me what that is? Track changes? Track changes? What is it?
It's like you go to the review tab.
Review tab at the top toolbar?
Yeah.
So far, so good?
And then it's like you press on track changes and you make changes in the document, and so you can go back and see the errors that you made and how you changed it, or give it to someone else to do.
It's a collaborative tool, but it's also a very helpful tool for draft papers that you can go back and make changes, and it will track your changes, and then you can accept them if you want to. So it's a very cool tool. And if she and I'm sorry, your name? Salma?
Salma. S-A-L-M-A.
Salma. If Salma and I were working together on a paper, is teamwork important today?
Yes.
Crucial. If Salma and I were working on a paper today, and I wanted to make some changes, it would track my suggestions in a different color. I could put notes in the margin, and she could see those, respond to my notes or questions, and she can see the changes when I send it over to her. Or if we did it in Google Docs, right, then we can see the changes real time if we're both logged into the document. Very cool. You guys need to be up to speed on these, because those are the types of things we're going to be talking about in a communications class. Because you got to be able to communicate today collaboratively, remotely. Get it? How many of you FaceTime people? How many of you hate it when people FaceTime you? Yeah, okay. You might have to get over that. A lot of your interviews today are going to be done via Skype video or FaceTime. You're just going to have to be prepared for that, right? And you're going to have to look in yourself in the mirror and go, ooh, that's what I look like. All the people that work for me, they work remotely. And I can always tell when they're in their pajamas at 11 in the morning. Because I'll say, hey, let's FaceTime so we can get everybody together. Oh, we need about 45 minutes. Okay. Then I know what's going on. All right. So somebody tell me what we talked about last Thursday about the travel and hospitality businesses. We tied them together to what? We tied the evolution of travel and hospitality to what? The evolution of technology. And remember, it wasn't technology that we think about today. It wasn't microchip processors. It was the wheel. Did you move down here?
I mean, yeah, I want
You're going to siphon off some of my electricity. I charge extra for that, Braden. So we talked about the wheel, then we talked about the boats, then we talked about the steam engine, then we talked about trains, right? Automobiles, planes, and we talked about how that expanded people's reach and more people could travel at one time. And when they did, what did they need? Places to stay, and places to eat, and entertainment. Right? So look, you've got to constantly think about the evolution of things and connect all of those dots. Let's go back for just a second and let's think about one segment that we really didn't mention the other day, right? We talked about travel, air, sea, and ground. We talked about lodging. We talked about food and beverage. We talked about meetings and events. We talked about the technological side. Remember OTAs? You guys remember that? What's OTA stand for? Online travel agency, very good. But one segment we didn't talk about were casinos. Can you talk to me about the evolution of gaming? Did Vegas start out like it is today? No. How did it start out? Somebody's little card room, right? And then as more people wanted to play, what did they have to offer? Hotels. And when they started Las Vegas, were there any hotels? No, and you had to be going to Las Vegas. There was nothing there except dirt. That was it. And so they knew if they were going to get you there, they had to have places for you to stay, right? So they added hotels. Well, you can't. They don't want to gamble 24 hours a day, so what else did they add? Food, beverage. And look, back in the day, hotel rooms in Vegas were mostly free. They made their money off you gambling, right? Today, are hotel rooms free? No, because demand is greater and they can charge $145, $200 a night. So they're starting to make some money off that. What else have they added now? Top restaurant chefs, all the celebrity chefs, they have a spot in Vegas today. What about all the shows? The shows, man, Cirque du Soleil has made $1 billion off of Las Vegas. It started there and went everywhere, kind of. And then what about these musicians that extend their life? I think Elton John's going to be 95. Not really. But he's been out there for what, forever. Elvis. He was so heavy they had to bring him by a helicopter and drop him off in that thing. That's funny. He liked it. That was good. So anyway, my point is, think about the evolution of things, right? Think about how this industry keeps evolving. And then last time I said to you, what's next in travel? And everybody said, space, right? That's where you guys think it's going. Nobody thinks it's going under the sea. Under the sea. Under the sea. Who knows that song? What's the name of that little guy? Sebastian? Oh my God, that's a good, he's great. You guys like Disney movies? Yes. You like Shrek?
That's not a Disney movie.
Shrek's not Disney?
It's DreamWorks.
Well, that's why it's so good. I love Shrek. I love it. But I like the donkey. The donkey's correct. Donkey, who said that? Yeah. Yeah, and in the morning, I'm making waffles. What's he say? I'm a flying talking donkey. Yeah, if you haven't seen that show, that's a good show. Okay, where was I? Thank you, space. And I said under the sea. Under the sea. Nobody thinks under the sea people are going to want to live there? The hotels under the sea, right? They do that. They're building things where you can stay in very cool places, right? But you got to be able to get there. There's some places where I travel. I think it's in Lima, or actually Cusco, down when you're going to Machu Picchu, where you can do a hike, and then they have these pods that hang off of these cliffs at about, you're already 10,000 feet high, and then you're up another 1,000 on this cliff, and you're dangling. Yeah, it doesn't work for me. Yeah, I'm the same way. Who's afraid of heights? Yeah. Who won't even get on the trams that go across like Six Flags or something? See, I won't do that either. No.
I'll go on the roller coasters.
You'll go on the roller? Who likes roller coasters? Who doesn't like them? I'm with you guys. See, the people that had your hand up that don't like roller coasters, that's the rational people in this room. All right. So look, think constantly as we're talking about things. Just don't think about where we've been and where we are today. Think about where you think things are going to be. Right? That's what you want to be thinking about. That's how you exercise your mind. Have ideas. Talk about it with your friends. It's cool stuff and it's neat stuff. You guys could design the next space station. You could design the next starship. I'm big on that. I was on a plane yesterday and I watched Star Wars. I had no idea. Oh. You may not know. Never mind.
Which episode at least?
I can't tell you the name of it. It's where he finds Han Solo finds his son.
Oh, the seventh one. Okay.
Is that the last one?
Episode 7.
Oh, that's not the last one. Well, anyway, I was shocked at what happened in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't say it.
Everyone got angry.
Everybody was?
Everyone.
Yeah, like, dude. Yeah, I mean, that'd be like dropping Ferris Bueller off a cliff or something. Kind of the same thing. Okay, so look, this business has evolved. Every one of those segments we've talked about continue to evolve, just like technology has evolved. And as technology continues to evolve, these businesses will continue to evolve. We mentioned Airbnb. We mentioned Uber and Lyft, right? We mentioned all that. How as things evolve, yeah, technology enables us to do things we haven't been able to do before, okay? But at the same time, There's this infrastructure around all of these aspects that you need to know about. If you're going to have a career in this industry or something similar, you need to be able to connect the dots within each of those segments, lodging, food and beverage, meetings, etc., and how they work together, how they're intra-dependent. Right? Everybody get that? Okay, so when you look at this book, and by the way, I didn't mention this last week, but the best thing for you to do with a textbook is to read the entire table of contents first. Before you do anything else with any textbook, read the entire table of contents first so you can put each topic in context. Context is crucial. It will really help you. By the way, if you're not a very good reader or you have trouble comprehending what you read, did I tell you about this? Read the book, How to Read a Book. It's been out a long time. And it's a good book. I haven't read it all, but I've read several snippets of it. It's broken up into about 10 chapters. It's very helpful. I'd encourage you to read it. And it'll help you learn to read, to comprehend, and understand. It's very helpful. All right. Spencer, let's post that on for both classes, Blackboard, will you? How to read a book. There's only one out there. All right. So this book, breaks down the hospitality industry in those segments that we've been speaking about. And so we're going to do that as well. The author starts out with lodging, then rolls into food and beverage, then rolls into some on alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. He focuses a whole chapter on that. And then talks about third-party management companies. Not on the hotel side, but primarily on the food and beverage side. I mentioned to you this on Tuesday, first day of class. How many of you eat in the dorm? How many of you know that the university doesn't manage that food service? Right? They're good at putting students in classrooms. They're not good at preparing and serving food. They went out and hired somebody that is. Somebody like Sodexo or Marriott or Aramark. And there are great career opportunities there for people in third-party managed services. And then they talked about meetings and events in these chapters. And then after meetings and events, he throws in tourism, which is way out of order, but it's in there somewhere. And then we're going to talk about clubs. How many of you are interested in country clubs? Okay, it's great business, lots of opportunity in the club business. You can do food and beverage, you can do events, you can do management and leadership. It's fantastic. And then we're going to spend some time on the marketing and leadership aspect of the business. So we'll do that. Now, each one of those areas also has a corresponding student organization here at our college. How many of you saw the student organization fair going on out front right now? Okay, and I think that'll still be going on when we get out of class, and I encourage you to go. I encourage you to join an organization. Listen, if you're thinking about getting a scholarship, or you could use a scholarship, you need to go see Jeremy Defoe. I'm going to bring him in to talk to you about this. But even before that, because the deadlines happen pretty quickly, go see Jeremy and ask him for the criteria for getting a scholarship. But one of the criteria is being engaged in a student organization. And you get more points if you're a leader or an officer in that organization. So there's some significant incentive for you to join these organizations. Plus, you'll learn a lot about whether or not you like this particular aspect of the business. And you'll meet people that have been in the business for a while. So it's a good thing. And I know you're like, oh, networking, man, I don't meet people very well. I don't do that. You need to take my communications class. But you can do this. And this is a great way to break the ice for you. Okay? you can do it. All right. So let's talk about lodging. Shall we? How many of you have stayed at a hotel? All right. How many of you like it? How many of you have learned that people are normal until they check into a hotel? That's funny, isn't it? But they didn't laugh. You and I must be on another plane. It was funny. Okay. Tell me the hotel business. In a nutshell. What's the hotel business? Yes, with the hat on backwards, glasses. Yeah. You're very astute, I can tell just by looking at you. Tell me, give me the hotel business in what we call an elevator pitch. By the time you go from floor 1 to floor 5, if you and I are on the elevator, and I said, can you describe the hotel business for me? Tell me what you would say.
We provide lodging for people that are traveling away from home.
Excellent. Can I add one thing?
Absolutely.
For a price. Fair point, right? Yeah. That's what it is. That's what the business is. It's exactly what it is. We provide lodging for people that are traveling away from home for a price. You should have written the textbook. Okay, right? And that's what the business is. And look, and next chapter, we're going to break it down into processes. And we're going to talk about each of the processes a little more. But let's just get to it right now real quick. Every business you work in, every business you decide to do or create is going to be built on processes. And your job is to sync those processes. Yeah? So what are the processes of a hotel business? What do you got to do first? For any business. No, that's the customer perspective. This is the business perspective. Tell me.
Have the actual building to...
Yeah, I got to have the development, right? Okay, and that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to start out with the development of the hotel. Very good. What's next? Yeah, we need the money to finance it, right? Finance the building that we're going to develop. It's all part of the development process. Okay, so when we have it built, what are the processes for operating that hotel? Are people just going to come because we open the door? What do I got to do? Do I have to market? Do I have to sell? Are marketing and sales the same thing? No. Marketing is all about creating awareness. Sales are about closing the deal. Some people are really good at marketing. Those people typically suck at sales. People that are good at sales, vice versa. By the way, we don't use the word suck in this classroom. We use the word hoover. It hoover. You know the vacuum cleaner? Oh. It sucks, right? So, just so you know. Sorry to the parents that are listening to this podcast. Everybody get it? All right. So, you have to market and sell. And how do we do that today primarily? Online, social. Still do some advertising, but not as much. All right. Then what do? Customers come to they gotta get a reservation, right? Hello? How many of you have booked a reservation at a hotel before in your life? Raise your hand. If you haven't, it's okay. All right. You've got to book the reservation. So we need a marketing and sales. We need a marketing process. We need a sales process. We need a reservations process. Yes? We need staff and training. Can't run the hotel without people. So I got to have human resources process. Very good. What else do I have to have? How about the front desk? Don't I have to check people in? We typically funnel everybody to a desk. It's called the front desk, and that's where we check people in. Today, though, they can check in where? Online. You can use your phone to open the door. Evolution. It's evolving. Okay. Then what do I have to have? Once people are in their room, what do they need? Housekeeping. So I need a housekeeping process. I need food and beverage. Do I need maintenance and engineering? Wi-Fi? What about security? Yeah. If you have 400 toilets, is something going to go wrong? Yeah. How many of you can't keep one working? All right. Well, there you go. So things will go wrong. You got to have people that are gifted that can repair things quickly. Yeah? Air conditioning system. Got to do it. All right. So we got that process. Engineering, technology, security. Very good. Engineering. That was a joke, but you missed it. Okay. So, those are the processes. As we talk about hotels, and particularly when you read the chapter for Thursday, think about those processes. because that's what the book is going to take you through. All right, now let's get back to the finance and the development, right? So you want to open a hotel. What kind of hotel do you want to operate? What are your choices? How do you know? Can we categorize hotels? Let's start with that. That comes a little later in the chapter if you have your PowerPoint outline. But let's start with categorizing hotels, and then we're going to work our way back to the legal entities and the legal concepts that occur with the development of hotels. Is that fair? I think it'll help you to understand the models a little better that way. All right. So what's your favorite hotel brand? Marriott, Hyatt, DoubleTree, Four Seasons, Ritz. You guys dream big. Mandarin Oriental, Peninsula. Omni's a good hotel. All right. So, if I said to you the brand, what does that mean? The name. That's the name. Now, can a brand have sub-brands? Yes. Does everybody understand what I mean by that? Yes. Let's make an example just so we're all clear. You mentioned DoubleTree. That's a brand. Listen to this carefully. That's also the flag that's on the building. When I say the word flag, don't think stars and stripes. The flag is what we refer to as the sign that's on the building. So in your example, you use DoubleTree. That's the flag that's on the building. That's their brand. But DoubleTree is a sub-brand of what global brand? Hilton. Okay? So Hilton is the global brand. Hilton licenses, owns other brands. Now, listen. As we identify these sub-brands, recognize why they're different. And how can we determine their differences? What criteria do we use to determine if they're different from one another? 1 second. Well, that's a rating system, stars and diamonds, Forbes and AAA, but they use criteria to assign the level of stars and diamonds. What I want to know is what those criteria, what are the broad-based criteria that those rating services use to establish those ratings? Yes, ma'am? Okay, let's hold that. I'm going to back up. Yes. Hotels, motels, inns. Just real quickly, what's the difference between a hotel and a motel? A hotel is an interior corridor entryway to your guest room. Right? The motel, you enter your guest room from outside. It's exterior entry. Motel is short for motor hotel. We used to drive up to, you still do. Motels are making a comeback. You drive up, you go inside to a little office, you pay, and then you go out to your room and your bags are right there. You don't have to walk down a long hallway. Or you go up the stairs. Is everybody? Okay. Hotel, motel, inn. But let's get back to the broader. I know you got it. Yes, sir. Amenities. Level of, can we say service? Level of service, amenities that are offered. Very good. That's where you were going. Yeah.
I was also going to say price point.
Price point as well, exactly, because that's driven by amenities. Exactly. Could location also drive it? Some cases, not always. Just because, yeah, exactly, that could happen too. All right, so level of service, amount of a broad array of amenities. I'm going to take 1 second, Salma, 1 second. I want to make sure everybody in this room understands something very quickly. This insight should be, I have a friend that speaks all the time about creating revenue for businesses, and particularly hotels. And one of the key things he likes to teach people, his name's Don Farrell, by the way. One of the key things he likes to teach is that there's a difference between amenities and benefits. Amenities are what's offered to you. Benefits are what you actually use. There's value to those. Do you see the difference? And you constantly are trying to offer amenities that are an actual benefit to your guests. Does that make sense to you? Yeah. Okay. All right. Now back. In the Hilton chain, can I also call it a chain? The brand is a chain, right? But in the Hilton chain, they've got Hilton hotels. The DoubleTree chain has DoubleTree hotels. The Hilton Garden Inn chain has Hilton Garden Inn hotels. All of them are subsets of the Hilton brand. Yeah? Okay, let's start at the top with the luxury, because they go by luxury, full service, limited service, economy for the most part, right? And you have extended stay in there as too, and then you have an all-suite type of property. So let's just look at Hilton. Their luxury sub-brand is called, luxury sub-brand, Waldorf Astoria Hotel or Conrad. Those are their higher-end hotels. On the Marriott side, what do they have? All right, what just happened this year that messed up this entire conversation? Marriott bought Starwood. Starwood was a global brand. We'll get to them in a minute. But we've got Hilton. They've got Waldorf Astoria and Conrad. Those are their higher-end service, lots of amenity hotels. Yeah? 500 thread cotton sheets. You don't know what I'm talking about. All right. What's their next level of hotel? Hilton, right? Full service. Yeah? What do I mean when I say full service at a hotel? I have food and beverage. I have valet. I typically have a bellhop. Bars, restaurants, typically full service, right? Typically an office center, gymnasium today, right? All of those types of amenities that we're used to. What other types of amenities do hotels provide? Towels, pool, room service, turn-down service at your higher luxury brands, shampoo, conditioner, hair dryer. The higher luxury brands offer a robe and slippers. Right? They'll do all that. Yeah? Okay. So, but as you get lower, some of those things start to go away. Everybody good? Some of the higher ends might have a spa attached to it as well. Okay? So think as we go, we've got all of these amenities, this whole bundle of amenities that we start with, and as we get down in the level of price and brand name and service, those amenities start to dwindle, right? So let's find out. So we got all those things we mentioned at the top. Then we go to the full-service Hilton, which probably doesn't have robes, slippers, spa, may have valet, may not, probably has a bellhop, probably not a concierge. What's a concierge?
They help you with your trips if you're from out of town. They'll help you with restaurants.
They'll help you get reservations. They'll help you with your travel. If it were me, I'm not sure I'd want to be a concierge today. Why not? Google. Right? Speaking of brands, if you want to learn about effective branding and non-effective branding, you don't have to go too far. How many of you have said, Google it, just today? Yeah. How many of you say it frequently every week? Right. But how many of you have never ever said Yahoo it? Right? Okay. So, learn from the people that are successful. Now, back to our dwindling bundle of amenities. We've got full service, then we go to limited services. Name some of the brands in the limited service. DoubleTree is a little less than Hilton. It's kind of on the same parallel plane, but a little less. What's their next brand? Hilton Garden Inn or a Hampton. They're right in there together, right? Garden Inn's just a little cut above. Hampton is. They do not typically have sit-down restaurants or sports bars, right? You're definitely not going to find a robe or slippers at one of those hotels. The price points often are going to be less. But what has changed that? Today, can a Hilton Garden Inn be more expensive than a Hilton or even a Waldorf Astoria? Why? Demand and what we call revenue management, yield management. If that Hilton Garden Inn has 200 rooms and 198 of them are sold for the day you want to stay there, and the Hilton 3 blocks away still has 100 rooms left, do you think the Hilton Garden Inn is going to get a bigger price? They are, because of what's called revenue management or yield management. That's a concept we'll talk about more, but I want to introduce you to it in case you come across it in your reading. Okay, great. So we continue down the bundle path. They've got Hilton Garden Inn, then Hampton. Does Hilton have a long-term stay? Homewood Suites. So you can stay for a week or 2 weeks or 30 days, right? You're not just coming in for a day or two. And they have laundry facilities. What sets apart long-term stay? Limited housekeeping, laundry facilities, yeah? Not too much, a little kitchenette in the room as well. Very good. And then, does Hilton have an economy brand? What is it? Holiday Inn is an IHG brand. Yeah. Hampton's kind of their low-end brand. All right? All right. So, do you see how that happened? Now, if you run Hilton, if you founded Hilton Hotels, that was their first brand. That was all they expanded with in the beginning. Why would you want to develop all of these other sub-brands? Why? Yes, ma'am. More market share where? No. Where market share where? Because here's the thing. When I develop 2,000 Hilton hotels across the U.S., am I penetrating basically the same socioeconomic market? Pretty much. So but am I attracting the people with a whole lot of money with that hotel? No, they're going to the Ritz-Carltons. They're going to the peninsulas, right? So if I want to be in that space, I need to develop a hotel that penetrates the higher socioeconomic market, right? Waldorf Astoria. Higher level, higher bundle of amenities, higher price point. Higher levels of service. But there's a whole nother series of folks that I want to attract that are tiered in this socioeconomic levels, right? Hilton Garden Inns, Hamptons. I want to reach them. So it's what we call vertical. We start at the top and we just make our way down. Vertical integration. I am vertically integrating my brands into the different socioeconomic markets. Make sense to you? You got it? Everybody get that? Okay, what's vertical integration? Yes, ma'am, right here. Yes, ma'am, the blue sweater. Black shirt, blue sweater. Vertical integration. Yes, you do. Yeah, you do. We just talked about it. Why? If I'm Hilton, and I just started with a Hilton brand, and I wanted to penetrate right? That's it. Say it one more time out loud because that's exactly right. The different socioeconomic dynamic, right? The different financial dynamic, the ability to pay dynamic. See, you did know. Very good. All right, so that's what's going on. Now let's take another example. So somebody over here. How about you guys? This will be my brain trust right here. Here we go. You ready? Yes, ma'am. You ready? All right. Let's start with Marriott bought whom? All right, let's name the Starwood brands really quickly that they bought. St. Regis is at the top, right? That's their luxury hotel. The W is next, more of a boutique-style hotel. Boutique is kind of hip, European, smaller rooms, modern furniture, right? If you're looking for that, really tech, souped up. Yeah? You guys get all that? Okay, so we got the W is their brand. What else? The Westin is a nice, full service. It's comparable to a Hilton, right? What else we got? Aloft is kind of your limited service hotel. You check in, they've got a little gift shop, you can buy some prepared food, but there's no food and beverage service other than that, right? Daily housekeeping, no valet, no concierge, no bellhop, right? Everybody good? Couple of people running the desk. Anything else? There's a Sheraton in there somewhere. It's going to be a little beneath Westin. It's going to be on par with some of the lower scale Hiltons, right? All right, you see how we're matching them up? So look, when you go back to this chapter and you look at Forbes rating system and you look at the AAA rating system, the stars and the diamonds, which by the way you need to know, you're going to see these brands and you want to match up these brands with the stars and diamonds so you understand how they're integrated. So essentially what we talked about is that the Waldorf Astoria collection or what's the Starwood brand? Thank you, the St. Regis. Are they going to be 4 and 5 diamond properties? 4 stars, 4 diamonds. It's tough to get to a 5 diamond, 5 star property. There's probably one in Texas. What's it called? 5 star, 5 diamond property in Texas. Probably one. The mansion on Turtle Creek in Dallas, yeah. Typically gets rated that way. So those are super luxury hotels. Yeah? And then you come down 4 stars or 4.5 stars, 4.5 diamonds, right? And they keep coming down. And so when we look at a Hilton, so if the Waldorf Astoria is 4.5, what would just a regular Hilton be or a DoubleTree? 3.5 or 3. Yeah, and then a Hilton Garden Inn, 2.5. Yeah, Hampton, probably 2 stars, 2 diamonds. Yeah, because they don't have as many amenities, right? And we can do the same thing on Starwood. And then Marriott, let's vertically integrate Marriott. Somebody start with me at the top. Well, but wait, they bought a luxury chain about 7 or 8 years ago now. Ritz-Carlton. Marriott bought Ritz-Carlton. Marriott today, I think they own 1 out of every 17 hotel rooms in the world. Marriott owns them, now that they bought Starwood. I was talking to my friend who's a general counsel for Marriott, associate general counsel, and I said, I heard the other day that you guys own 1 out of every 17 hotels. He goes, really, is that all? 17 hotel rooms, not hotels. All right, so do you see where this is going? Do you see how we tie the amenities, the service, the rating system, all of that together? And do you understand this concept of vertical integration? Yeah? So when you go back to this chapter, that should stand out for you when you go through that material. Everybody good? All right, so let's have just some fun and figure out what we got, because we can classify hotels in some other ways as well. But let's do it. Let's do it by service and amenities. Let's call it economy. I'm going to name some brands. We're going to call it economy, and we're going to call it limited service, or we're going to call it full service, or we're going to call it luxury. Are you ready? Intercontinental Hotel, owned by IHG. All right, I'm going to say it's between full service and luxury. That's their brand. That's the Intercontinental is their luxury brand. IHG, all right, they own Holiday Inn. Holiday Inn. Full service. Holiday Inn has always kind of been known for full service. Holiday Inn Express. Limited service. Right? Okay. Waldorf Astoria. Luxury. Ritz-Carlton. Peninsula. Okay, very good. Comfort Inn. Limited economy. They've got a Comfort Inn and Suites that can kind of take you up kind of to a limited service. It's probably not economy. Days Inn. Economy. Motel 6. Economy. Super 8. Economy. You guys see the difference? Okay. So there are about 7 main hotel companies because of all the consolidation. What does that mean? All the mergers and acquisitions that have been going on, right? Hilton bought DoubleTree. Marriott bought Starwood. But let's just identify those main brands so you'll be familiar with them. And look, you've got to start paying attention to these things. Read the travel section of the New York Times or the Los Angeles Times. Get up into the library upstairs and read the Lodging Magazine. Subscribe to Hotel News Now. It's free. It comes every day in your inbox, and it'll keep you up to speed, and you'll learn about different brands. You've got to start thinking about these things if you want to be in this business. Even if you don't want to be in the hotel business, you've got to understand the relationships of brands and franchising and how all of this works and the brands. So there are 6 or 7 major brands. Let's name them. Marriott is the beast. Hilton, IHG, Wyndham, Choice Hotels. Choice owns which brands? Comfort Inns and Suites, Quality Inns. Right? You never see the name Choice. There aren't any Choice hotels. They all have brands. And then there's, let's go back to Wyndham. Wyndham has some full-service Wyndham hotels. They're not really in the luxury market yet. They're working toward it. But they have a whole lot in the economy sector. They've made their money in the economy sector. Hyatt owns and operates a lot of their own hotels. Best Western has become a huge player in the hotel industry. They've got Best Western Plus, Best Western Premier. They're going to go public. They started a franchise. They've opened up several sub-brands. But if you look at those brands that we just mentioned, you're going to cover 90% probably of all the hotels, certainly in the United States, possibly in the world. Do me a favor, take your foot off that. Thank you. All right. Now, back to my question about you're a Hilton, you're Mr. Hilton, and you have built 3 hotels and they're successful. And you want to expand, but you don't have you don't have enough money, capital to invest, and you can't get banks to loan you any more money, even though your hotels right now are performing well. They're worried that there might be a dip in the economy and they might not continue to do well in the future, and they've already loaned you millions and millions of dollars to build these 3 hotels. How can you continue to expand your brand without money? Franchising. We call it OPM. What's that stand for? Other people's money. Exactly. OPM. You use other people's money to expand and to invest, right? So, if I go to, remind me your name? Aaron. And I say, Aaron, I know you run a couple of independent hotels in Des Moines, Iowa. How would you like to have a Hilton? Aaron says, well, I've seen those Hiltons up in Chicago. They're great. I like the brand. A lot of people would know the brand. Yeah, I'm interested. In this situation, who would be the franchisor and who would be the franchisee? He's the franchisee. He's the one buying the license. I am the franchisor. I am selling the license. Another way is I'm the licensor. He is the licensee. Right? I am granting the license. So I am the licensor. He is buying the license. He is the licensee. I'm granting the license. I'm the franchisor. I'm granting the franchise. He's buying it. He's the franchisee. Right? Why would I want to share my success with other people? To expand with other people's money. Right? I can expand quicker. I don't have to hire and fire people. Right? I can depend upon him and her to develop my brand. But what do I need to be certain of before I let him open for business? Tell me. Speak up. Trust and consistency. Right? Trust and consistency. If I go stay at a Hilton in Houston and it's a lousy experience, the next time I travel to Dallas, am I going to stay at a Hilton? No. Probably not. So there has to be a high level of trust and consistency, right? If you're Aaron, why would you want to buy my brand, give me money, rather than do it yourself? Because look, how much money does Aaron have to pay me? He's got to pay me an upfront franchise fee. Usually it's, depending upon the number of rooms he wants to open. Right? Do you think the cost for a franchise for a Garden Inn is the same or less than a franchise for a Waldorf Astoria hotel? Less, right? It's the same concept. The more you can charge, the greater the investment, the greater your franchise fee is going to be. Yeah? So he has to pay an upfront fee. He also has to pay a fee for every reservation that he gets through what? My CRM, which stands for what? CRC, Central Reservation Center, or CRM, Customer Reservation Management Tool. It's from our central reservation system, right? That used to be the primary value to Aaron joining the Hilton and paying money for a franchise. Because Hilton has a nationwide 800 number national marketing campaign, so when people would travel, they would say, oh, I've got brand awareness, I'm going to call Hilton and I'm going to get a reservation, right? So if I'm going to Des Moines, Iowa, am I going to know about Aaron's independent hotels? No. But if Aaron now is a Hilton hotel, and back then the only Hilton in Des Moines, where am I going to stay? If I'm in New York City and I'm traveling to Des Moines and I call an 800 number and say, hey, I'm going to be in Des Moines, what are they going to do? They're going to put me where? Aaron's hotel. And there used to be huge value in that. Today, not so much. There still is, but not as much. Why not?
Other people do it
too. You make your reservations online. Plus, with search engine optimization today, can't Aaron's Hotel come up just as well as Hilton? Does everybody understand keyword search and search engine optimization? All right, well, if you don't, you need to find that out. SEO. Just Google search engine optimization and keyword searches, because that's going to be crucial for whatever business you decide to get into in your future. Be curious. All right, so Aaron wants, plus if Aaron wants to go build a hotel and he goes, hey, I'm going to go, he goes to his bank and says, hey, I'm going to build Aaron's motel and ice cream shop down the street. Is the bank going to loan him money? Well, maybe, maybe not. But if Aaron says, hey, here's some plans for a Hilton hotel that has 3 very successful hotels up in Chicago, here's the feasibility study. What's a feasibility study? Ma'am, yes, ma'am, you were the one that talked about financing earlier, right? Okay, feasibility study. What's the word feasible mean?
Whether something's possible or not.
Is it possible? Is it feasible? Will it work? Here's a feasibility study that says, hey, with this target market that I have in, what's my target market? Don't look away, I'm going to call on you for sure. The target market are the customers that I want to reach, that I think will stay at my hotel, right? How do we determine a target market? Come on, I know you know this. How do we determine a target market? Target market. I'm thinking about the customers now. Where are you when I need you? Customers. Customers.
The economy, like according to which people you want to
Their demographics, that's right. Their socioeconomic level. Look, if I'm in Des Moines, Iowa, do I need a Waldorf Astoria hotel?
No.
What do I need? No offense, Des Moines. What do I need?
A Hampton or a garden.
I need a Hampton, I need a garden, I could even put a Hilton there as things develop and grow, as more business gets there, right? Very good. Okay, so I need to determine if it's feasible, right? Do they get a lot of business traffic? Yeah, or is it mostly highway traffic? Yeah? Where am I going to put it? What's the location? Why? Is it feasible to put it here? Yeah? If today, what do you think is the most feasible place in Houston to put a Hilton Garden in? Off the highway. Maybe near the airport. Well, yeah, because they already have those. They're in there. Where else? But if you had to put it, where would you put it? Well, what's growing the fastest? Medical Center, Galleria, Edo would be a great place, east of downtown, right? As things get saturated, you've got to look for other places. All right. Out by the Astrodome and out by the stadiums out there, it's going to continue to develop. The Heights. There is a dearth of hotels. What's dearth? Lack of. Dearth of hotels over in the Heights. You're going to see lots of development go on over there before long and on the fringes before long. So you got to decide, is it feasible? Yeah? So he goes to the bank, it's feasible. But with that brand, it's more feasible because you've got brand awareness. Right? But what do you give up in order to have that franchise? You're the yin and the yang. You get value, but what are you giving up? Money plus freedom. I don't get to call all the shots. Don't I have to comply with Hilton brand requirements? Because we need what? Consistency. Very good. All right. You guys got this? So if I asked you on an exam or if I asked you on a post to tell me the advantages and disadvantages of a franchisor and a franchisee, could you do that? All right, and the book takes you through a little deeper discussion of that. But I want you to see it. If I asked you what a feasibility study is, could you tell me? Everybody? All right. And you're going to study SEO, search engine optimization, keyword search. That is crucial today. Got it? If you were going to open a hotel today, which demographic would you build the hotel for? Families, middle-class travelers. Get more specific. Which sex? Female. Look in this room. When I started teaching this 30 years ago, this room would have been 80% men, 20% women. Today it's about 60-40 women, maybe a little higher. And that's the same ratio in travelers today. If you don't understand that it's the she economy, you haven't been paying attention. And women want different amenities than men. Ladies, am I right? Yes. Security, cleanliness, full-length mirrors. There are lots of plugs in hotel rooms today because of technology, but used to be they needed plugs for hair dryers and curling irons. Ladies, am I right? And different mirrors. It's different. And you've got to understand your market. When I talk to you about connecting the dots, that's what I'm talking about. You have to look beyond you and what you know. And you have to look at marketplaces and what's growing and what the tendencies are. All right? Okay. Let's classify. Before we get to classification in a different way, let's talk about one other thing. Now, if I'm Mr. Hilton and I sell to Aaron, I'm selling to Aaron because Aaron knows how to run the hotel, right? But let's say I sell to, your name is? Bretley. Bretley? I say to Bretley, I say, Bretley, I know you've got a lot of money because you run a big pension fund. Have you ever thought about investing in hotels? And Bretley said, no. Don't know anything about hotels. I said, well, let me show you this financial statement for my hotels in Chicago. Look how much money we put on the bottom line. This, if you invest $20 million with us, this will give you an 8% ROI annually. What's ROI? Return on investment. The stock market's only giving you 3% today. Savings and loans are only giving you 2.5%. I'm going to give you 8%. Bretley's going to go, well, yeah, but there's a risk. The hotel might not work. That's true. But that's why you're going to get a higher ROI. Greater risk, greater ROI. Yeah. Everybody see that? And then Bretley says, but wait, okay, I like the ROI, I want to invest, but I don't know how to run a hotel. What am I going to say? No problem. I will manage it for you. So Hilton makes money not only as a franchisor, but as the management company. Or Bretley can say, well, you know, as much as I like your management style, I've heard of a company called Interstate Hotels. They manage, that's all they do is manage companies. And if you don't mind, manage hotels. And if you don't mind, what I'd rather do is I'd rather use them so that they're independent from my franchisor, right? So there's a little check and balance there. Do you see? And that's how third-party hotel management companies have come about. And there is about 1,000 of them today. Yes, ma'am. ROI is return on investment. What am I going to earn on this $20 million that I'm going to invest in your project? Well, she tells me 8% a year. That's about $1.6 million a year that I'm going to earn on that investment. Right? If I'm only getting 2% in the savings and loan, I'm only going to get $400,000 a year. But it's safe, it's guaranteed, right? There's no risk of loss. So we got to try to earn a higher ROI because the hotel could not work. A Hyatt may open across the street and dilute my business. Do you see? Good question. All right. So and I encourage you to go back to these chapters and look at management companies and understand how they work and operate. Yes, sir?
If you've invested like $20 million into like a Hilton and then you're expecting a high ROI, if it doesn't work out and you're not getting out of your investment what you expected, what happens from there to like reclaim your money?
It's a fair question. So you invest the $20 million, and let's say you only get a 3% return instead of an anticipated 8% return. First of all, you're going to get fired from the board of your investment company, right? Because they're going to say you did a lousy job of projecting the ROI. That's number one. Number two, you would hire a third party probably to go in and audit and see what's going on. And you're looking to see if the management company has done their job or if the Hilton brand has done everything they said they were going to do under the franchise agreement. And if they haven't, you're going to hire a lawyer to sue them for misrepresentation, right? And negligence. Yeah? On the other hand, if that auditor comes back and says, man, they operated it just like we would have, just like they said they were going to, you just made a bad investment. That happens every day. That happens a lot more often than the 8% return coming through. Let that be a lesson to you. I made a lot more money on the stocks I didn't buy than on the stocks I did buy. You get that? Yes. Okay. Be prudent. All right. Last piece. Just a few minutes left. We've learned to categorize hotels by service level. Yes? Can we also categorize hotels by price? But are price typically pertinent, commensurate with service? For the most part. How else can we classify hotels? keep going with that thought. How else can we classify them? Function and or location. Yeah? So, let's see how that drives amenities. If I'm going to put, and type of hotel. If I want to put a hotel between here and Dallas out on 45, 45, what kind of hotel are you going to put out there? Are you going to put a luxury hotel? When you drive someplace, you're going across the country, what do you want at your hotel? Buc-ee's. I went to my first Buc-ee's last year. I couldn't even pronounce Buc-ee's until last year. I thought it was Busey's. This girl, she's crazy about Buc-ee's. She's like, I can't go out with you if you haven't been to a Buc-ee's. I said, well, I guess the deal's off. I said, and I go, she's crazy about it. Anyway, she dragged me into one. We were there like 3 hours. Never go to a Buc-ee's with a girl. I mean, they have everything. You want to shop. I was like, wait, no, we've gone down every aisle. You haven't bought anything. She goes, no, I just like to look. I'm like, I'm too old for this. All right. Here we go. Yeah, you're going to put a hotel, buy a Buc-ee's, right? Because everybody and their brother's going to Buc-ee's. What else? What else do you want? Do families travel on cross-country vacations? What do they want? They want breakfast. They also want a swimming pool, right? Do they want a TV? Do they want air conditioning? Yeah, okay, that's what they want, right? They need. Do they need Wi-Fi today? Every hotel has to have Wi-Fi. What's the number one amenity for hotels today? Wi-Fi. You would starve to death before you'd give up your Wi-Fi. Am I right? Most of you would, I know. All right. So we classify by location. Highway hotel. What about a hotel at an airport hotel? What do you need there? You need a shuttle to back and forth to the airport if you're not built inside the airport, which is becoming more popular. What else? Meeting space, right? Because listen, businesses fly people into a hotel, they'll meet right there, and everybody will leave that night. Do you need 24-hour room service? Yes. Absolutely. 24-hour gym? Yes. You do. You need 24-hour shoe shine, 24-hour laundry, right? Do business people need those amenities? Yes. That's what they need. 24-hour concierge. Yeah, they need things right then. Not everything works 8 to 5. What else? What other types of locations can we dictate? How about a downtown hotel? What do you need there? You need to be close to restaurants. You need valet. There's no parking downtown. Tell me again? Concierge would be helpful, right? Who's staying downtown? Business and? Tourists, travelers, people that are interested in the arts, going to the symphony, going to the opera, right? Events. Is that what you said? Maps. Yeah, exactly. All right, very good. What about in the medical center? If you were going to build a hotel in the medical center, what do you need? You need a shuttle to the different hospitals. Kitchenette. You might be there a while. Little long-term stay, right? Concierge would be helpful with appointments. Anything else on the medical side that you need? All the Americans with Disabilities Act. You need to go overboard with those things. Does your shuttle bus need to accommodate a wheelchair? Yes. More rooms that are outfitted for people with disabilities, right? Very good. Okay, so we can categorize by price, service, location. Yeah? Go back, look at this chapter around franchising. Understand the nuances being the franchisor and the franchisee, the advantages and disadvantages of both. Find out what a feasibility study is. Make sure you can understand what that means and what it looks like, right? Just Google one to see one. Feasibility study for a hotel. Be curious. What's the first thing you're going to look up, ma'am, in the back with the blonde hair? Sorry, I don't know your name. Tell me your name. Paulina. Paulina, what are you going to look up? What are you going to Google today when you get home? Start. What? Exactly. Way to go, Paulina. Now everybody can get to go home thanks to Paulina. Keyword search and search engine optimization. And what are you not going to do today? Thank you. Or drink and drive, text and drive. Don't get drunk and text. All right. Go, conquer, read. Hey. We're rolling right into chapter 3 on Thursday, right? Be ready. Don't forget your post. Everybody say thank you to Spencer.
Thank you, Spencer.
There you go. Go, go, go. Rock and roll. Have fun.
Oh, your mic's still on.
Oh, it is. Don't ask. Okay. That always worries me. Somebody wants me to turn my mic off. How are you?
I'm doing well. My name's Jacqueline.
Hi, Jack.